When the trailer came out for the sequel, I was hyped. I mean, who wasn't? A sequel to an amazing game that blew me away with its great level design, quick gameplay, amazing soundtrack, and its mysterious nature was not to be hyped about. It was exhilarating knowing that Hotline Miami would even get a sequel, since those type of games are usually rare. Although, I was cautious when I heard the news because there have been times that a great game released a subpar or at worst, horrible sequel. After playing it left me with mixed feelings. It's not awful, it still has good gameplay and a kick-ass soundtrack, but the sequel did something that it really shouldn't have done. Explaining everything. But first, I want to give my 2 cents on the gameplay. Like I said before, the level design in the first game was great, with stages packed with enemies in tight spaces. The levels become more spacious and challenging as you progress. The first level in the game feels the same as the first game, but most of the levels are way bigger than the first game, and there are mirrors in every fucking room. This bugs me because you'll die from enemies that are far away from you, which is annoying because when you think that you completed a level, or saved, someone sniper jumps you, and you're dead. In the first game, respawning didn't completely kill your buzz, because you can quickly respawn and get back into the action. However, in this game, when you die, you are instead filled with dread, because if you die again, you gotta restart the stage again. So instead of thinking, oh wow, this game is really fun, you'll be asking, oh my god, is this level almost over? What's worse is that due to the bigger level design, you'll hug the wall and play a game of peekaboo to kill the enemies. And it's worse when you play a character that can only kill with their fists. If you're wondering why there's so many characters, that's because you play as 13 different characters. Unfortunately, most of them don't have distinctive techniques. The fans have their own types of perks. Zebra can dodge roll, Tiger have lethal fists, Bear starts with 2 machine guns, and the Swans work together, with one using a chainsaw and the other using guns. Soldiers can start with different assortment of weapons, but can only use those weapons. If he wants ammo, then it helps to find an ammo crate. Jake's max has different perks, like lethal throw and a nail gun. The Suns given different techniques that are similar to the fans. Finally, there's a Rider, Evan Wright. He's not able to kill enemies, he's only able to knock them out and disarm their guns. There are a few variations of enemies, with the design being the only difference. Dodgers are able to dodge bullets, and heavies are able to wield guns. What saved me from breaking my controller and quitting this game was the soundtrack. The soundtrack is vastly better than the first game, with more memorable songs than the first one. Like I said, you play as multiple characters, with most being influenced by Jacket. The story takes place in different dates and settings. Think of it like Reservoir Dogs, or Pulp Fiction. Like I said before, this sequel explains everything that A, didn't really need an explanation, and B, were details that no one really asked. If I wonder why Jacket saw every cashier's beard, well, it's because they were friends. Hell, is where the photo came from. Their squad is the origin of 50 Blessings. They use code names and metaphors like the colors, and before the squad to go to a suicide mission, the colonel confronts them. He's wasted, and is wearing a skinned panther face, with the 50 Blessings symbol on top, and tells his soldier that they are all animals, who enjoy killing and that destruction and violence are part of their nature. The next day, the group heads into a suicide mission to gain control of a power plant. They succeeded and quickly escapes, but Jacket is wounded and they escape through the tunnel. After saving Jacket, Beard hands him the photo and says, "It's on the house," which is what he said in the first game. A year passed and Beard is in San Francisco. Beard is consoling Jacket on a recent breakup, which is what we hear in our first conversation, and asking him for a copy of the photo, and that's when it happens. This puts Jacket's actions in the first game in a new light, explaining how he learned to kill and why he kept killing Russians. In the first game, they never explained why he kept going, just hinting that he must have enjoyed killing. But now learning what happened shows that Jacket kept killing Russians because he hated them for what they did to Beard and is haunted by what happened. To be honest, I don't want to spoil the remaining story of this game. It's a complete mind trip that you should experience for yourself. But I'm going to talk about some aspects of the game that intrigued me. Throughout the game, Witcher shows up. Witcher is like a messenger of chaos to these characters, warning them to turn back now and get out while they still can. Also, his design has changed as he's able to move his own mouth and blink, making it feel that he is his own character. His dialogue is heavily meta as well, as it feels like that his lines are targeted towards us, the player, and not the characters. Spoiler alert. There are times that it feels like everything that's happening is not real. This director will pop into the story many times, and it feels like everything that's happening is a fucking movie. After completing a level, instead of the ominous drone that will play at the end, it will play a drone. What I mean is, instead of feeling dread and seeing the bloodshed you committed in the first game, questioning why you did this, I just felt that I just beat a level, not questioning why this happened. Like I said, once you learn everything, that feeling disappears. This game ties up loose ends and answer questions from the first game, while leaving the player with looser ends that will never be answered, unless the creator decided to do a one-shot comic showing what happened after the ending, which would be cool. One thing I felt while making this video was that the sequel felt like a traditional sequel. The gameplay and music were expanded early, the enemies were more diverse, killing enemies still had the same crunch and feel, and questions were answered. Context and meaning were given to the sequel, but unfortunately, they revealed too much, and that feeling of wonder disappeared. If you're looking for a game that's fun, trippy, and violent, this will satisfy that urge. If you're looking for an ambiguous and strange feeling, then I advise you to play something else. Thank you very much for watching this video, and have a great day.